All right, so get that we're diving deep into African mythology today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know that YouTube video you sent?
Oh, yeah.
Full of stories from like all across the continent.
It's amazing, right?
It's pretty amazing.
Just how many different cultures and traditions are all woven together.
It really makes you think about like how we all use stories
Yeah.
to understand the world, you know?
Totally. I mean, these myths, they're not just like ancient bedtime stories or whatever.
Yeah.
They offer a window into how people understood everything, the universe, human nature.
Okay, so let's unpack this treasure trove of myths.
Okay.
One thing that jumps out right away is all the creation stories.
Mm-hmm.
Every tribe seems to have its own unique take.
Well, that diversity is a testament to how vast Africa is. But even with all the variations, there are recurring themes.
Okay, like what?
Like the belief in a supreme god, but also all these lesser deities and spirits that shape daily life.
Like a cosmic hierarchy.
Exactly, like the Yoruba creation myth. They believe in Olorin, the supreme god, but it's Obatala who gets his hands dirty literally in the act of creation.
Where he descends from the heavens on a golden chain, uses sand to form the land, a white hen to spread it out.
It's like a divine arts and crafts project.
Totally. But there's this detail about him creating humans from clay.
Ah, yes. The part where Obatala, maybe indulging in a little too much palm wine, made from palm tree sap, ends up creating humans with imperfections.
So even the gods aren't perfect.
Right.
That's oddly comforting.
Wait.
But it makes you think about how we view imperfection, both in ourselves and others.
That's a really great point. This myth could be seen as an explanation for human imperfection, but it also highlights that the Yoruba believe in Obatala as the protector of those with disability.
Oh.
Compassion woven into the very fabric of the story.
Okay, so we've got creation covered, but what happens when things go wrong? Enter the flood myth.
Okay.
Things get really dramatic.
This myth speaks to that balance between creation and destruction. Obatala, creating land, encroaches on the domain of Okun, the goddess of the sea.
Oh boy.
And she is not happy about it.
Cue the epic flood.
Precisely. But what's fascinating here is Ishu, the trickster god.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
He acts as a go-between, negotiates with humans to offer sacrifices in exchange for the god's help.
So he's like the ultimate negotiator.
Yeah.
Always stirring the pot, creating chaos, but moving things forward.
He's a complex figure, for sure. But it's Orunmila, the god of wisdom, who calms the flood and teaches humans divination.
Divination.
Yeah, like seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown. The myth highlights the importance of knowledge and foresight in overcoming challenges.
Pretty universal lesson.
Right.
But Okun, she's not one to give up easily. There's this story about her challenging Olorin, the supreme god himself, to a weaving contest.
It seems her pride was deeply wounded, but Olorin knows he can't beat her when it comes to weaving, so what does he do?
What?
He pulls a classic trickster move.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Sends a chameleon to the contest.
That's brilliant.
Right. The chameleon changes colors, matches every fabric Okun presents.
She's got to admit defeat.
She does.
So sometimes intelligence and wit can triumph over brute force.
Absolutely.
I'm sensing a theme here. Trickery and ingenuity seem to be key ingredients in a lot of these myths.
You're picking up on something important. These stories aren't always about straightforward solutions. They remind us that sometimes thinking outside the box, being adaptable, is the key to success.
That's interesting. So we've got these powerful gods shaping the world.
Right.
But there are also myths that focus on explaining everyday occurrences, like the Kono creation myth, how darkness came to be.
The story of the bat and the moon.
Oh, I think I've heard this one.
Imagine a world perpetually bathed in sunlight or moonlight. That's how the Kono people believed the world was in the beginning. No darkness, ever.
Amen.
God entrusts the bat with delivering darkness, literally a package of darkness to the moon.
Who comes up with this stuff? It's genius.
Pure creative brilliance. But things don't go according to plan. Mischief animals always meddling open the package and boom, darkness spills out into the world.
And now the poor bat is left to chase darkness for eternity. Talk about a thankless job. It's a funny explanation for why bats fly at night, always trying to catch that escaped darkness.
But there's a deeper layer here, too. Some scholars see this myth as reflecting human anxiety about the unknown, about the things that lurk in the shadows. It's a reminder that our attempts to control the world around us can have unintended consequences.
Okay, now that's a deep dive. So we've got creation floods, trickster gods, and the origins of darkness. What other fascinating tales are hidden in this treasure chest of African mythology?
Oh, we've got plenty more.
Yeah.
From explaining the world to grappling with life's big questions.
You're telling me we've got myths about creation floods, tricky gods, even the origin of darkness. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But are there any stories that offer guidance, like a cosmic instruction manual?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Remember Orunmila, the god of wisdom who calmed the flood? Well, he didn't stop there. He went on to teach humanity the art of divination.
So like reading the signs, understanding the future, that's pretty handy.
Exactly. It suggests that while the gods may influence our lives, humans have agency, the power to shape their own destinies.
Right.
But there's also a healthy dose of cautionary wisdom woven into these myths.
Oh, like the story about the old woman who kept pounding her pestle against the sky.
That's the one.
Kinda a reminder not to mess with forces beyond our control.
It is. It's a humorous tale with a serious undertone. The woman's pestle used for pounding grain accidentally hits the sky, pushing it further away. It's a reminder to respect boundaries, even when it comes to the divine.
So there's this clear separation between the human and the divine realms, but also a sense of connection.
Exactly. We see this separation in many myths, but the gods aren't completely hands-off. They respond to prayers, offer guidance, and sometimes even intervene directly in human affairs. And that's where the concept of sacrifice comes into play.
Okay, so we're not just talking about offering up a basket of fruit, right?
Not always. Sacrifice in these myths takes many forms. Remember the flood myth where sacrifices appease Ishu and ensure his help? Or the Kikuyu rain sacrifice where a life is offered for the survival of the community?
It's a powerful reminder that sometimes difficult choices have to be made for the greater good.
Exactly. These sacrifices aren't just about appeasing the gods out of fear. They're about recognizing the interconnectedness between humans and the forces that govern the world, maintaining a delicate balance.
And sometimes the greatest sacrifice is a personal one, like the young warrior who journeys into the underworld to rescue his beloved Wanjiru. That's commitment.
It is. His journey is a testament to the power of love and determination, a willingness to face any challenge to save the one you love. It speaks to the human capacity for selflessness and courage.
Okay, so we've got powerful gods, trickster figures, moral lessons, explanations for the worlds, and even a touch of romance. Is there anything these myths don't cover?
Yeah.
It seems they've got all the bases covered, and that's part of their enduring power. They offer something for everyone, a reflection of the full spectrum of human experience. But let's delve deeper into some of the key characters and what they represent.
Yeah, let's do it. We talked about Obatala and his vow to protect those with imperfections. It's a powerful message of compassion and acceptance, and it feels incredibly relevant today.
It does. It speaks to the importance of embracing diversity and recognizing the value in every individual, regardless of their perceived flaws.
And then there's Orunmila, the wise sage, who reminds us to value knowledge and foresight.
Qualities that are essential not just for individuals, but for societies to thrive. And even Ishu, the mischievous trickster, has something to teach us.
Okay, I'm all ears. What wisdom can we glean from a chaos-loving trickster?
Think about Ishu's role. He disrupts the status quo, challenges conventions, and forces everyone to think on their feet. In a way, he embodies adaptability and resilience traits we could all use a little more of.
Ishu, the original disruptor. I love it. But what about the female figures in these myths? We've got Okun, the fierce goddess of the sea, who's not afraid to stand up to anyone.
She's a force of nature, literally. Okun represents strength, independence, and even righteous anger. She's a reminder that women can be powerful forces to be reckoned with.
And then there's Wanjiru, whose story is both heartbreaking and inspiring. She represents resilience and sacrifice in the face of unimaginable hardship.
Yeah. Her journey speaks to the strength of women, even when confronted with societal expectations and difficult choices. And she reminds us that even in the face of tragedy, love and hope can endure.
It's incredible how these myths weave together archetypal figures, moral lessons, explanations for the world, and this deep connection to nature.
That connection is something that resonates deeply throughout African mythology. The land, the animals, the celestial bodies, they're all integral parts of these stories.
It's like there's this inherent understanding that humans are not separate from nature, but a part of it.
Exactly. And that connection isn't just about reverence, it's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things.
Which feels incredibly relevant today as we grapple with climate change and environmental degradation.
It does. These myths offer a timely reminder of the importance of living in harmony with nature, not just for our own survival, but for the well-being of the planet as a whole.
So we're not just looking at these stories as ancient history, but as a source of wisdom that can inform our understanding of the world today. It's mind-blowing.
They offer a window into the past, but also hold a mirror up to the present, prompting us to reflect on our values, our beliefs, and our place in the grand scheme of things.
Are there any other overarching themes that tie all these diverse myths together?
One that stands out is the emphasis on community and collective responsibility. We see it in the flood myth, where the community bands together to appease Ishu, and in the Kikuyu rain sacrifice, where a life is given for the survival of the village.
Right. It's a reminder that we're all connected and our actions have ripple effects.
It also speaks to the importance of tradition, of passing down knowledge and values from one generation to the next. These myths are like a collective memory, a way of preserving cultural heritage.
And they offer a sense of continuity, connecting us to the past and reminding us of the enduring power of storytelling.
Speaking of storytelling, these myths are masterfully crafted. There's drama, humor, romance, even horror. They're designed to captivate and entertain, making them all the more effective at transmitting knowledge and value.
It's not just about dry facts or moralizing. It's about storytelling that speaks to the heart and imagination.
And that's what makes them so enduring. They resonate with us on a deep emotional level, regardless of our background or beliefs.
So we've covered a lot of ground. Creation myths, trickster gods, the nature of sacrifice, and even a bit of ancient relationship drama. What else can we learn from this incredible world of African mythology? Wow, it feels like we've just scratched the surface, you know?
We have so much more we could talk about.
I know, but we have to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
What are some of the key takeaways you think our listeners should, really take away from this?
African mythology, it's more than just like ancient tales, right? It's a wellspring of beliefs and values and wisdom that speaks to us across time and cultures.
These stories offer a glimpse into the past, but they also challenge us to think about the present. Like, what's our relationship with nature?
Yeah.
How do we approach the unknown?
Right.
What power do stories hold in our lives?
Exactly. These myths, they remind us that we're all connected to nature, to our ancestors, to each other.
They emphasize the importance of community resilience, finding creative solutions to challenges. It's like a blueprint for living a meaningful life.
Totally. They also encourage us to think critically, to question assumptions, and to embrace different perspectives.
They remind us that learning is a lifelong journey, and that wisdom can be found in the most unexpected places, like ancient myths about trickster gods and talking animals.
Exactly.
And maybe most importantly, these stories highlight the power of storytelling to shape our understanding of the world and connect us across cultures and generations.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up this incredible journey into African mythology, what's one final thought you'd like to leave with our listener? Something to ponder, something to spark their own exploration of these fascinating tales.
I would say think about what resonated with you most from these myths. Was it a particular character, a theme, a moral lesson? And why did it strike a chord? These stories offer a window into the human experience, both past and present. What do they reveal about you and your place in the world?
That's a fantastic question to leave our listeners with. So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those mythical fires burning.